I met a lot of freaking awesome human beings at the Virginia Gun Rally today. Awesome on so many levels in the way they communicate, the way they think, the way they present themselves. Just their countenances were bright. People are having a good time. Almost everybody was armed. It put the exclamation point on an armed society is a polite society. There are a couple standouts of people that I interviewed, and this guy is one of them. If you guys enjoy these videos, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give them a thumbs up, and share them with everybody you know. Hey man, you're pretty rare in this crowd. What brings you out here?
Well, one of the facts that I'm out here is that I am pretty rare in this crowd. I think it's important to address a lot of the issues that are going on around here, help some other people understand how not just blacks, but poor whites, women, alternative lifestyle people are going to be affected by these bans. Self-reliance. A lot of the world expects self-reliance out of certain communities. If we're not allowed to count on ourselves, which means the ability to defend ourselves, how reliant can we be? It creates reliance on the government. When you take away rights, when you make rules, when you create more and more laws to make more and more criminals, that's the result. It's more criminals.
Why do you think you're rare out here? Why do you think you don't see more people like you out here supporting gun rights?
Because the community as a whole has been brainwashed, whereas opposed that when you grow up, I was fortunate enough to grow up with a rural set of parents with a different belief on you, where a black man with a gun was not seen as a criminal. It was just seen as another man with a gun. Unfortunately, a lot of people fall into the brainwashing in which they allow the association with criminality to be attached to the color of someone's skin. I'm a regular person just like everyone else around here. You know, I have the right to defend myself by any means necessary. And that's very important, that's understandable. Self-reliance doesn't just mean defending yourself. It means the ability to get a job, the ability for me to put food on my table, to take care of my family, to get housing, all of the things that go along with that. I'm a free man. I should be able to move and comport myself with the same freedom that everyone else does. But unfortunately, like you said, I'm a rare because a lot of people don't recognize that. A lot of people in a lot of communities have given over the control and their destiny to a nanny state, to a government, to protect us and provide for us and all of these other things, and forgetting the fact that their power comes from us. They don't have all the powers that they have to create laws or protect or everything. We already have those inherent from the moment that you come out of the womb. You have the same rights that we give to them, and the more that we give to them, the less that we have. That's the only zero-sum game in this whole thing. They want us to believe that it's a zero-sum game. By someone else having this means that I don't get that. That's not how it works. The true zero-sum game is the more that I give to the state, the less that I have for them, the less that I have for myself. So it is a rarity, and that's the unfortunate part about it.
Do you think a big part of it is the entitlement mentality that we see in today's politics?
Absolutely. It's beyond entitlement mentality. I don't tell them what they can do inside their homes. I don't understand what gives them the thought process to tell me what it is that I can do inside my home, or how it is that I comport myself when I move out of the street. I have the same amount of freedoms that they have. You know, the people that are enacting these laws, they sleep safe at night. They sleep in their gated communities or high on the hill.
Armed security.
They sleep safe at night. I don't. I live in the south of Richmond. All right? And if anybody knows about the south of Richmond, they know where I live. I'm not a criminal, but I'm surrounded by a criminal element, and I'm expected to move through that criminal element. I have no choice but to drive down Jefferson Davis at 10:30 or 11 o'clock at night. I can't just get a job someplace else or just move someplace else or all of the other tones of entitlement. I am what I am. That's me. I can't change the color of my skin, but I have to live up to the responsibilities that I have to this world, and that's to protect myself, that's to provide for myself and my family, my loved ones, my friends, everything else, and also to be a participant in this world. This is the real world. This is the world that we live in. You know, no one's coming to save you. This is the world that we live in. A lot of people live in a fantasy world.
When seconds count, at least are minutes away, right?
Exactly, when seconds count. And that's it, like you said, that sense of entitlement, because they believe that they're entitled to that, to have someone looking out for them, or the moment I pick up a call, the cops will be here within 1 minute or 2 minutes. That's the world that they live in. Not the, we don't all live in that world. You know, some of us live in places that have rural boxes and PO boxes way out in the sticks. Help's not coming anytime soon. If the barbarians at the gates, help's not coming. You got to do what you got to do for yourself, and that's a fact. You know, the Supreme Court has even stated as much. You know, you're responsible for your own protection. You can't rely on the state to do that. The state relies on you to give them control. And you keep giving and you keep giving. They'll keep taking. Trust me, they will keep taking.
And they won't give it back.
You keep giving. Exactly. That's exactly.
Power concedes nothing.
Absolutely. That's the only way. Power. Exactly. It's they count on us. They count on us through fear tactics, through tactics of division, to give them more and more and more and more control, and to the point where we are obedient to them and they are no longer obedient to us. That's the end game of all of this. That's the end game of all of this. It may be guns down, but it'll be taxes later. We're still putting people in jail for not paying taxes, whether they're unjust or just. There's still a threat of, you know, there's ramifications for not doing what the government wants you to do. And they use that fear in order for people to just willingly give them power, to willingly give away things that they should be holding near and dear to themselves. They're not going to give it back to you. They're not going to give it back to you, you know, whether you like it or not, you know, irrespective of how you feel about some of the events that are happening in this world. The simple fact is, the more that we give to them, the less that we're going to have for ourselves, and they will gladly keep it, and they will gladly wield it against you. There's a reason that true common sense gun control is not happening. There's a reason that they're enacting laws. That makes us more criminals. That disenfranchises us. That makes it harder for us to get jobs. And now we have to go in. If you were to get your be a victim of red flag laws and you were an innocent person, now you have to defend yourself against the government and against an adversary that has all of this might to bear against you, so you can get something that you should have never had taken away from you in the first place. I don't have $1,500 to get a lawyer and to take a day off to go down to the courthouse to get my pistol back when it should never have been taken from me in the first place. You know?
And what I've been telling people today is one of the most ironic things you could ever come up with is a state considering red flag laws when their state seal says sic semper tyrannis.
Absolutely.
Amazingly ironic.
It's beyond ironic.
I know it's bizarre.
It's beyond the pale.
It really is.
The pale. And you know, there's mechanism in place to keep the populace, and we are all the populace, whether we're black, white, rich, poor, gay, straight, whatever. We're the populace, and the government has to maintain those mechanisms of control, whether it's through religion, whether it's through outright oppression of people's rights, thoughts, ideals, etc., etc. They have to maintain control at all costs. At all costs. That is the mechanism. That's the end game of the state, is control.
And what I like to express on my channel is it doesn't matter about the color of your skin. If you have a pulse, nobody has a higher claim over your life and property than you.
Absolutely.
Nobody.
That's the absolute fact. That's an absolute fact. So that's what, you know, unfortunately makes me a lot of the unicorn, is because unfortunately I am from a demographic that has felt the brunt of oppression, and they may shy away from exercising their freedoms, but they don't understand is that they don't exercise those freedoms. Nobody can exercise them for you, you know. If they come from one of us, they're going to come for all of us, and that's what we all need to understand. And at the end of the day,
and if you don't flex your rights, you will lose them.
Absolutely.
I guarantee you. Hey, man, very articulate, a lot of wise words there.
Thank you.
I really appreciate your time.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Thanks a lot.
Absolutely.
What's your name?
Mike.
Mike. Okay, I'm Brian.
Nice to meet you, Brian.
You too.
Have a good one.
Take care.